Time is it? Ooh, I need to get back. Shit. Okay. Oh my god, so many boxes. Let's go. Oh my god, there's a shark right there. Why isn't the music on? No! Oh my god. No, 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 no! No! Oh my god, the shark's got me. Holy shit. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Super excited to showcase this one. If you guys haven't checked this game out, I highly suggest so. So this game is called Stranded Deep. It's actually a little bit of an old game. It came out in, I think, January of 2015. I did play it like way back then. I really enjoyed it. The game is pretty much surrounded the game surrounds a lone survivor who ends up on an island, and you pretty much have to, survive with, by any means that you possibly can, whether it be, finding ways to, filter water, catch fish, kill things to cook them. It's very cool. The one thing I noticed about playing this game is, that first island that you're kind of subjected to, it does run out of resources pretty quickly. So the fun part about this game is you actually have to build boats. As you can see just right there in the distance, I have a raft there, and you have to make your way from island to island, just trying to find other resources, tools, equipment to help you survive, which is really cool. So as I mentioned, I did play this game way back in the day, and the cool thing about it now is, one, I have it on a PS5, so the graphics of the game are actually quite a lot better. But when I played it originally, I didn't really enjoy the true essence of the game. I was pretty much trying to find anything I could to, get to the end of the game, which is at some point you find a plane, you rebuild it, and you take off, and that's kind of the end of the game. This time around, because I know how to play the game very well, I want to try to, build like a fun base or a fun home, find all the tools that I possibly can, harvest things, and kind of enjoy being a survivor. Because what you guys notice is, as you play the game, you get really good at, maintaining your health and eating food and drinking water. So you kind of get into the obsession of the game where you want to find as much as you can and just, build a sanctuary, or build a better boat. There's like a helicopter that you can build, so that you can fly from island to island like a little quicker. As you can see here, I'm kind of just pulling my raft out to the water, getting ready to go to another island. And here's another cool part. There's so many fun elements. So here you can see that it's sunny, it's crisp, and then, in the very next moment, it's stormy, and you have to kind of survive those elements. So like, luckily enough, your raft never really tips over, but the realism of it is actually quite cool. Like, you can hear the storm, the rain, the tides get really high. It is actually really exciting. As you guys saw at the start of the video as well, I kind of survived like a little bit of a shark attack, which was kind of funny. There was a bit of a glitch in the game there, I guess. I was just jumping off the boat, and normally when there is a shark nearby, the game kind of plays this sort of creepy sort of music, and it wasn't playing, so I kind of assumed that the shark was gone, and then all of a sudden he was right there. So I thought I was totally dead, and then all of a sudden the game kind of glitched and the shark was gone, and I was able to swim back to shore. So that was kind of exciting. So as you guys can see here, from when you make your way from island to island, the main thing that you really want to make sure you're doing is creating like a save point. So I built like that little kind of small little tree hut there that you can see. It's not very big. It's like the size of you, and it's just a little save station. And here what I'm doing is I'm also building a water filter. So the hardest thing to do is to actually find water when you first start playing this game. Like, there's coconuts, you can break the coconuts, you can drink the coconut water, but what you notice after a while is you get sick from having too much of the coconut water. So you really want to make sure that you're building those filters. So this part's actually pretty cool here. So on some islands you also run into snakes. You know, there's boars, there's crabs, there's snakes, and if you're not careful, like they can actually hurt you. So here, it's pretty easy to kill them. I just usually take a spear and spear the snakes and spear the boars. The snakes are pretty easy. It only takes 2 spears to kill them, but the boars, I think it takes about maybe 7 or 8 spears, and eventually they just kind of go down. And the cool part about it is, with the boars, you can actually skin them and use their I don't really know what you kind of call it, kind of like the leather of their skin to, you know, make, you know, better axes, better tools to use that you can harvest, and then you can also cut the meat off and you can kind of cook it over the fire and you can eat them there. Here you can also get the crabs. The crabs that are a little easier, they kind of run after you, but they're sort of harmless. You just have to make sure that, you know, I think you kill them 5 times, you have to hit them. And the one thing you notice is that when I was hovering over the crab there, you can kind of see it say giant crab. If the name isn't highlighted, you actually don't hit them. So when you're hovering over them and you can see their name, then you can actually stab them a little bit more efficiently. And I think it takes about like 5 whacks and you can get them there. So this game is really, really fun, guys. Like I said before, I highly suggest trying it out. It's super realistic, and when you really get into sort of the depths of playing the game, you actually get very, very comfortable playing the game. This part's kind of excited here, finding these buoy balls. The cool part about these is you can actually make better bases to rafts. So the raft that I have already made, it's pretty much just wood, like it floats, but when you make these buoys, it just builds a better quality boat. So it can move a little bit faster. You know, it can kind of get through the water a little easier. I find the wood is just like a little bit heavy, so the boat moves a little bit slow. As you can see here, I find more buoys. I think there was another island where I found like a bunch of buoys, so I was also trying to collect as many as I could. So I don't want to make like a small raft either, right? I want to try to make like a big raft, and maybe I can store some, you know, crates on them so that I can transport things a little easier and not always carry them in my backpack. Yeah, so as you can see here too, like this is also a little bit of a spooky part in the game. There is a point where you can get an air tank, so you can, you know, use it, and you can probably dive a little bit longer, so you don't have to kind of freak out to try to grab some of these crates that are deep into the water of some of these boats. And as you can see here, like you slowly run out of water, but as long as you sort of time it, you know, the distance that you're trying to cover when you're swimming, it's not really too bad. So yeah, at this point I was finding some fun crates on some of these boats, and that's another cool thing about this game is you kind of find these crashed, sort of broken down boats or ships that have you know, these crates on them. The crates have, you know, tools, you know, harvesting weapons and all that kind of stuff. You can see there's like a gas kind of tank there. There's a flare gun, you know, a lantern, hammers. So like you find really, really cool stuff on these boats that you can't really find like on the islands. The islands are more, you know, the animals, you know, cutting down coconut trees, you know, chopping up wood, finding bricks, things like that. So you definitely want to, you know, search these boats to try to find equipment that you're going to use later on in the game. Nice. Empty hands, baby. What time is it? Oh, I need to get back. Shit. Okay. Oh my god, so many boxes. Let's go. Oh my god, there's a shark. Why isn't the music on? No! Oh my god. No, 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 no! No! Oh my god, the shark's got me. Holy shit. Am I dead? Yeah, look at my arm. He's right there. Holy, he bit me and pulled me out to sea. Holy moly. I don't even know if I'm dying. I could be dying. So lucky for me, guys, I didn't get too badly injured from that shark that actually got me there in that last scene. What I did notice though is that I was slowly bleeding out. So there's a couple moments here where I do check my watch just to kind of see where my health is at, and I noticed at the very top there's a little heart icon, and I kind of noticed those squares slowly going down. So pretty much the overall goal was to just make sure that I was eating and I was drinking water, and as you can see there, see it, like the 2 squares there are kind of down. So I did remember that there was a way that you could that you could make bandages. And I think you needed to use, I think it was either like a cloth and like some rope, or I forget what it was, but there was a way that you can eventually make them. So I was able to make them and stop the bleeding. And I think it's right here. Yeah, so you needed some lashing and you needed a cloth, and then you can make some bandage. So I think there's been a couple times throughout the game where I've been kind of bit by crabs or hit by the boars, and they don't really bleed you, they kind of just injure you. And I find like as long as you just, you know, every time you go to sleep or every time you eat and you drink water, you're kind of slowly healing from that. But the sharks, I guess when they get you, they obviously bite you and then they cause bleeding. So the bandages, you can tell they pretty much fully healed me there, so that was cool to eventually figure that out. But that's a great example there of knowing that, you know, in certain circumstances you need to make sure that you have the right materials, you know, in order to, you know, survive those parts of the games. And again, like there was a little bit of a glitch in the game there. I didn't know that the shark was actually there, so it kind of freaked me out because I also thought was like, great, if I die here, there goes my game. But you know, there are save points, so it's the only thing I would have lost was just that time that I took on the ship to get all those crates, so it wouldn't have been that bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm gonna run through like more details of like where my main island is, where I have my my main base. But as for right now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next update.